Okay, so now we're going to be solving some triangles, finding lengths of sides. So let's look at a couple here. So it tells you that we have angle A, that's this angle right here. Let me draw it for you. We know angle A is 20, so I'm going to put 20 right there. And then we know C is 32, so I'm going to put 32 right there, right? And they want us to find A. So first we have to decide what is that? Well, that's opposite and hypotenuse, so that's the sine. So the sine of 20 has to equal the opposite, which we don't know, that's A, divided by the hypotenuse, which we do know. Okay? Now remember that this is like a proportion, right? It's a little proportion. So if I do 1 times A, I'm going to get A. That's easy, right? So I'm going to do, so I'm just multiplying 1 times A. Well, that's just A. And then 32 times sine of 20, right? So I've got, I'll do A equals, and then I said 32 times the sine of 20. Ta-da! Well, what is that? Let's look. 32 times the sine of 20 degrees. 10.944. Oh, I forgot. I want my thing to be rounded off. So I'm going to round it off to 3 decimals. We'll do that again. 945. So I'm going to say 10.945. What does it say? Oh, it says round to the nearest tenth. Well, that's easy. Then we'll say A is 10.9. Right? Yay! So we did that one. No problem. So let's try again. They're using different color. We'll use a different color. So now they're changing the angle. They said this is not this anymore. This is not this anymore, right? They tell me that this guy is 49. So still talking about this angle. Green is not going to show up very well, is it? So we'll change to black. How about that? This angle is 49. Yay! And then angle A is 17, or side A, excuse me, side A is 17. And they said find B. So this is the one we don't know. Now, what's that? Well, that's tangent. Yeah. So I know the tangent of 49 is, and what do I have? 17 over B. 17 over B. Now remember, we have to cross multiply. So 1 times 17 is 17. And B times tangent would be B times the tangent of 49. Now then, this is a number, this is a little decimal, right? And so all I have to do is do 17 divided by the tangent. Let's write that over here. I'll do right here. I'll say 17 divided by the tangent of 49. And we'll be done. Yay! So let's do it. So I have 17 divided by tangent of 49 degrees. Turns out to be 14.778. So if I rounded that up, that would be B, this one right here, B equals 14.778. That would round off to be 14.8. Right? So we found those two answers. Let's look at a word problem. Okay, so they're similar, very similar. So here, well, we've got to get rid of all this stuff that's in my way. And let's see if we can erase all this junk, huh? Yeah, I got it all. There we go. So this is a word problem from your book. We're just looking at it to make sure that you understand what's going on. So this word problem is from page 694. Page 694. Right? So let's look at what it says. 694. Alright, so we have a still have stuff in my way. There we go, some markers. Here we go. So it tells us that a builder is constructing a wheelchair ramp from the ground to a deck that's height of 18 inches. So if you look at what they wrote the 18 inches here, and they tell you the angle has to be 4.8 degrees. So this little tiny angle over here, this little tiny, let me put it in red so you know what we're talking about. Right there, that little tiny angle is 4.8 degrees. Not very big, is it? And he needs to know how far away from the ramp, from the step, right, or from the deck, how far away should it be that he starts making this deck? How long is this going to need to be? And so look what he did. He knows its tangent because it's opposite and adjacent. And so the tangent of 4.8 equals 18 divided by d. So we cross multiply, boop, boop, boop. Then we get 18 equals d times that. Then I have to divide by the tangent. We just did that. And look what it comes out to be. The distance is 214 inches, right? It's the same deal. So what they don't show you is when you have a word problem, all you get is this. You don't get the picture. You have to draw your own picture. You have to decide which angle of which function you're using, sine, cosine, or tangent. Then you have to cross multiply and solve it, right? So the deal is it doesn't come with a picture. That's what makes it a word problem, right? Now there's something else you need to know, and that's up here. This is on the next page, 695. So page 695, you've got, let's get rid of all these little red things. There we go. When an object is above or below something, then you're measuring the angle of depression or the angle of elevation. So this person here, this man is looking at the airplane. And so if you consider flat, so you're comparing to horizontal. So if I go up from that, that is the angle of elevation. Now the pilot of the airplane can see this man as well. And so he's looking down at the man, but compared to horizontal, he's looking down. And so these two angles are exactly the same size. So the angle of depression and the angle of elevation are equal. They are the same measure, right? That's very important, okay? So when they talk about an angle of elevation or an angle of depression, you know what they're talking about. So in this one, a park ranger whose eye level is 5 feet off the ground. So this distance from here to here is 5, which of course means the distance from here to here is also 5, right? We know that because he's measuring, his little protractor is right there at his eyeball, and so he's measuring this angle right here, right? Not all the way to the ground, all the way to the horizontal, but parallel to the ground. So he's sitting there looking, and he looks like he sees that the angle is 34.6, and he's 200 feet from the geyser. How high is it? Now then, this distance you have to add 5 to. That's the whole trick to this problem. You're going to have to add 5 to whatever answer you find here, right? That's the deal. So what do we have? We've got a triangle. We know this side, and we're looking for this side. Now that is opposite and adjacent. That's tangent again. So we're going to say the tangent of 34.6, I put the decimal in the wrong place. 34.6, the tangent is, I can't erase it, there we go. The tangent is equal to x over 200. No problem. If I cross multiply, 1 times x is x, 200 times the tangent of 34.6. Yep. So what is that? Let's just look. 200 times the tangent of 34.6. 137.9. 137, well, if I round it off, that would be 138, right? 138. So, 138. This distance right here is 138. But remember, we want to know the total distance, not just to here. So we have to add 5 to that. So 138 plus 5 is 143. So, what's the total height? This geyser is shooting steaming hot water 143 feet up in the sky. All right, you should be ready to do some word problems. We'll try those in class, see what happens, okay? Okay. Bye.